What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 27, returning today. Red hot start for the Royals, but it has cooled down a little bit. No wins in our last 4 Premier League games, and our first loss coming home to Manchester United means we sit just outside the top 4, but only one loss in 10 games. Yeah, it's been a pretty decent start. And of course, through to the Carabao Cup finals on the back of our win over Newcastle. We'll take on Aston Villa in the last day with a chance to progress through to the semi-finals for the first time in this save. So yeah, loads of league games to get through, and that League Cup quarter final. I'll make sure we'll play that. We might end on it or possibly play Chelsea at home on Boxing Day. I guess we'll see. So loads of games to get in. We'll crack straight on. Our first game is Fulham away at Craven Cottage. And again, no wins in our last 4 Premier League games, aiming to return to winning ways here. Come on, you Royals. Obviously, tough start to the season for Fulham with a loss on the Friday night curtain raiser, if you will, at Old Trafford. To be fair though, they're underdogs heading into the game, and that's a great ball, Gruev. Hold on. Oh, it's got to be. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, McGree, surely. Yes, finish, Aussie. To be fair, they had some chances, didn't they? They had some chances on Friday night. I thought Smith Rowe looked lively on his debut as well. Really hoping he'll recapture that lockdown Arsenal sort of form. And yeah, positives, man. May not have got the 3 points for positives, but tonight I want both positives and the 3 points. No wins in our last 4. If we are to stay in a hunt for a European place, gotta return to winning ways. McGree with the opener, 1-0 Reading. Riley McGree is such a decent player in this team. He scored on the opening day, of course, then got the injury. First goal since coming back, but he's solid, man. He's really, really solid. And you know, when we signed him, I knew he wasn't going to have superstar sort of potential and incredible ability, but good enough. Good enough. It's why I always say the overall, it's important, but what's most important is how you feel controlling the players. And I tell you what, this guy is someone I'm really liking. That is his 3rd of the season already. Our left back is an unlikely source of goals. Yeah, unlike Fulham on Friday night, I didn't just want the positives, but the 3 points as well. And we get our left side pairing combining with a goal apiece in a comfortable 2-0 win, and Reading back to winning ways in the league. If we are to stay where we are right now, which is competing for a European spot, it's going to be all about momentum. Need to go on good winning runs. Hopefully, this is the first of a successive amount of wins. Let's follow on from here. Yep, a win here and there is nice, don't get me wrong, but as we're a developing team, we want to take the next step. If we're going to do that, we need to make sure we win in succession. Haven't won back-to-back in the league for a while. Let's make sure we do it here in Berkshire. Following game back home against Brentford. Come on, Royals. 3 games, well had CJ, Egan, Riley asking for more game time. Again, it's so much harder now to keep your players happy. And the thing is, I've said this before, but like I don't mind that being the case. I really don't. I think it's a good thing. You know, players should be asking for more game time when they're not getting a lot of it, especially if their squad role isn't reflective. That's definitely an injury there, of the amount of game time they're getting. CJ's got the important squad role. Yeah, he's a rotational piece for us. That makes sense. As I said before, it's just when a player, you know, is starting practically every game and they still complain, that is when the issues arise. And hopefully EA have looked into that for the new season. Even so, Gruev going down, thankfully back to his feet, but he's asking for a sub. Gonna have to bring him off. As he'll find Tapia. Aziz, McGree on. Oh, brilliantly done. Wonderfully worked. Brilliant little team goal, fantastic. I must say I'm getting a bit better now at finishing team build-ups up. You know me, normally the passing's great, the finishing shocking. Getting better at it now. I have to say, shaping up to be 2 reasonably uneventful games to kick today's episode off. Not much going on apart from the goals we've scored, but hey, listen, I'll take it. And this guy wants it. I tell you what, man, he is a... Go on. Oh yeah, he's a player. To think we got this guy on a free transfer, man. That just goes to show you there's bargains out there. You just got to look for them. Dennis Shirkin with an assist, got the goal in that 2-0 win over Fulham as well. He's one of our best players now. How did Sunderland release him? Honestly, it makes no sense. This guy is an absolute baller. I'm doing it with an assist for Shirkin. He's become one of our best players after arriving on a free. Absolute steal. It also just goes to show that your value is not limited to what one person, or I guess in this case, organisation, believes it is, as Matthias Tell fires in the opener. Sunderland didn't value him enough to give him a new contract. Reading value enough to put him on one for the long term. Turned down a big bid from Fulham as well. And he developed his game as he is on our left-hand side as well. He's phenomenal, man. And whilst Brentford might have ruined our clean sheet, got back in the game, still leading 1. I think we'll be alright. I think we'll be okay. She needs to keep holding the ball and we'll see this out. Yes, repeat this mantra with me. Value is subjective. What one person thinks of you might be completely different to someone else. Sunderland didn't think much to Dennis Shirkin. They released him. Reading saw a superstar left back in the making. And to start this season off, that is what you could possibly categorise him as. He's been absolutely balling out, man. Sets up our second in a 2-1 win. Back-to-back in the league and 3 on the trot in all competitions. Reading rolling again. But the negative was the injury to Gerrard. That's a 3-month broken toe. You can't avoid the broken toes, man. Seriously. I think, I said this so many times before, but like I do need to clarify, like sometimes when you see me discussing an injury, it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm really not, I promise. Injuries are a part of the game and thus they should be in career mode as well. And I'm glad to see them, I really am. It's just the problem is there's a lack of variety. That's the issue. It's not the amount of injuries you get. It's not when you get the injuries. I've got no problems with those things whatsoever. It's just, it's almost always a broken toe or a bruise. You know, there's more injuries in sports than just those two, man. But Gerrard done for 3 months, and that's a big blow as well, man. He's a really underrated player in our system. Yeah, I'm all for injuries, man. Don't get me wrong. They're great. They add to the challenge, make it more realistic, but just give me some variety. I mean, how many broken toes realistically can you get? Seriously. Something's going on with these boot manufacturers right now. Anyway, following game, Leicester away at the King Power, taking on the Foxes, aims to make it 4 wins in a row in all competitions as Reading kickstart their run. Come on, you Royals. Also, for those curious, because I haven't shown the sliders in a long time now, the frequency and severity is now 72 and 53, which I think is giving us reasonably realistic results. We could possibly increase the frequency slightly, but because we're not playing in Europe right now and there's a lot more rest time, I think this is probably realistic at the moment. So 72.53 for now. What was it, 73 or 72? That's probably not 73. 73.53, and obviously all the other slides are default and untouched on 50. CPU, by the way, I do have frequency up by 10, just to get some in-game injuries as well for the AI too, but yeah, not up as much as ours, of course. That's a little bit heavier. But yeah, it's one of my simplest tips for how to improve the game, make it feel more realistic. If you keep the sliders default on 50 for injuries, you'll never get an injury. Like you might get one at the absolute most a season, but that's it. The absolute most you'll get is one, and that just quite frankly isn't realistic at all. So it's just a very small tip. As Zamduni is denied by Mad to Manson. If you want to make the game more challenging, but also realistic as well, up those injury sliders. And I think right now we've got a decent rate of injuries coming in based on Anderson denied our game time, the amount of games we play, and the rest time as well. Anderson down the left hand side, back to Dennis. Keep going, Anderson. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. There we go. There we go. Great storming run. How's your finish? Clean. He's a baller. Absolute baller. Wonderful run down the left-hand side. And, you know, those sort of runs, you'll get rewarded for them in my team, man. You put the effort in, you will get rewarded and thanked for it as well. Running down that left-hand side, play could have developed into the middle there. We could have worked it inside instead. But when a player's willing to, A, win the ball back, but also, B, go on those storming runs that drag defenders away, you'll get rewarded for it in my team. Phil Halloman does. He's off to an incredible start, man. Oh, no. Come on, don't concede straight after scoring. Come on, pet peeve of mine. This, Bennett with the save. And, oh, what? No way. How is that a foul? Ball's being released. He got a clean shot away. One of those follow-throughs, man. They are the most frustrating free kicks to concede ever. Fatawi to take right on the edge. Bennett with the save. Unorthodox one, but turns it behind for a corner. Still leading by 1 after a couple of good saves by our number 1, who, by the way, did just get his first call-up for America as well. Holding on to the 1-goal lead, heading into the break. Once again, it is our youth players making the difference today. Phil Halmer on one end. Bennett on the other. And Reggie gets in on the act as well. Oh, and just couldn't finish as he pops it just wide of Mad Manson's right-hand post. I tell you, in terms of all the career modes we've done in this year's FC24, 2 of which have had the best and most impactful youth players. Our first one with Luton, and this one, our final one with Reading. I love that. Starting and finishing the FC year strong with youth players taking over. Great way to build up for FC25 as well. 1 minute to play. Leicester looking to steal a point late. As indeed he clips it, Panzo hits it backwards, Bond's got to win that, and does. And Savage dispossessed. No, Traore gets it back, Binder with the block. Come on, ref, where's that final whistle? Where's that final whistle? No. Bennett with a save. And the rebound blocked. How has that stayed out? Binder away. How did that stay out? What a save by Bennett. Incredible closeout. And the American once again to the rescue of the death. How did that stay out? Dogged defending from the Royals. Rolling their sleeves up and shutting the door on the Foxes. Goodness gracious, massive block, massive save, massive grind out, 3 points at the King Power. Oh, how did that ball stay out? It was carnage! I mean, there's just so many things that I want to see changed for FC 25, you know. I mean, there's so many in-game things, I should say, that I want worked on, such as, you know, players, requesting transfers too quickly when they haven't played every single game. But to me, I think the one thing, like, if I could just have one thing I would want is mid-season upgrades for, like, potential, or if not, then just the overall. Because Bennett, 5 clean sheets in 13, but how is he averaging a 6.03? That's another thing as well. He need to work on the rating system too. Kid's going for back-to-back Golden Gloves as an 18-year-old, and he is literally the difference maker in so many of our games. Yet his growth is slow because he still only shows great potential. I'm going to put him on that goalkeeper. It's just the positioning. I want to get that positioning up. I'll tell you what, I'll put him on a sweeper keeper one first, just to get the positioning up, and then I'll put him on goalkeeper afterwards. But the growth is still slow though. 16 to 19 weeks to grow one more rating when he's only gone up by 1. Dude's a machine. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the league at 18. And speaking of youth players, by the way, just a real quick update on this. It is December and all of our players are currently 16. I said before, what I think I'm going to do, I'll take Shaw off the ball in the midfield development plan now. I think what I'm going to do is promote Tyler as soon as January comes around, because he's the one with the most potential, and then I'm going to loan him out for the rest of the season, hopefully to kickstart some growth and also getting that first team football, just to make sure he doesn't ask for a pro deal at the end of the season and thus lose potential in the summer as well. But right now, this is how the academy is looking to take a gap year from scouting. Reading on a run for the first time in a while, back in the top 4, a third of the way through the season, and to be fair, I'm not really going to discuss this much, but only 1 point off pole position. But all I'm thinking about is the next game. Following contest, Leeds in our first game of a busy month in December as we aim to keep the good times coming and the good form going. Come on, you Royals. Obviously, with such a long way to go still, not going to get too far ahead of myself here. I said this season I want to take the next step, that is top 10 with the outside chance at a European place as well. And I think that's going to depend on 2 things. So I said it at the start of the episode, momentum, but also staying relatively injury-free. Already missing the former Leeds midfielder, Gruev. And if we get another big injury to one of our key players, then we're going to find out what's what, you know, especially with what is a small squad. Momentum and luck with injuries, that's going to make the difference, I think. So I'm a firm believer you should be flexible with your goals and your aspirations as well. Like, you should adjust them during the course of the year, depending on how you're getting on. Like, if you got to a fantastic start, and I'm not just talking about football and FC here as well. If you got off to a fantastic start, why not increase the objectives and go from what we were, which was top 10, to now European football? But if we lose this game and get brought back down to earth, then this will be a bit of a wake-up call here. Newly promoted Leeds in our backyard, leading by 1. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't adjust those goals just yet. Stay true to the philosophy. Top 10, the next step we want. This Leeds team is naughty though, man, honestly. 85 overall written. Nonto is still there. Sam Greenwood and Impadu growing nicely. They've got João Mario. Egan Riley's header goes just over the bar. Melier still between the sticks. This side was in the Championship last year. No surprise, it's back in the Premier League. 8 after the restart, still down by 1. Well, don't be fooled. These guys might technically be a newly promoted side, but with the ability they've got, they're good enough to be playing in Europe now, which is what we want to do next season. But losses like this will prevent us getting there. Nice to have 3 wins in a row in the league, but we're all back down to earth in Berkshire. Just wasn't assertive enough in that game. Simple as, but what do we always say? When you've had that loss, take the lessons from it and move on to the next one. So we need to be a lot more aggressive in our following contest, travelling away to Molineux to take on Wolves. Now dropping outside the top 4, but it's crazy, man. There is such a cluster of teams right now, a third the way through the season. It's impossible to predict where we could end up finishing the season, let alone finishing at a halfway stage as well. Yeah, following game, Wolves away. Come on, you Royals. Yeah, really starting to slow down a bit now. Only just scraped through Leicester by the skin of our teeth late. A loss at home to Leeds, and now here against Wolves, struggling once again. I said it, that Gerrard injury is silver is denied by Bennett. He's a sneakily underrated player in this team, man. He doesn't just break up the play, sitting deep as an anchor man, but also his creativity from deep is so good. Never misplaces a pass, and plays some killer balls as well. Yeah, that final third, I've just barely been in it in this game, and that's the thing, like, football is just not a simple case of take off a defensive piece and put on an offensive piece. You know, it's all about building from the back and breaking lines. In this game, I have just not been able to get into that final third. And the player that's been missing, that normally does that for us, is Gruev, with the passing from around this area. But here's 09 coming forward. He's onside there, Kamara. Don't see him much these days. Oh! And the best chance we have fires wide. No goals in 2, no wins in 2, and now a tough game to try and bounce back in as well. Everton at home, with both teams having an outside shot at European football this season. But again, you look at the league table here, it's crazy how clustered it is, honestly, to start the season off. Again, you really can't predict how this season is going to go. But if we are to get back in the race for a top 4 place, let alone just European football, we've got to go back to winning ways ASAP. Sean Dyche's side coming to Berkshire. Come on, you Royals. Got Dele Alli featuring for Everton in this game as well. 74 rated in this save. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Dele Alli. You know, I must admit, obviously, product of the MK Dons Academy, not too far from where I was living most of my childhood in Milton Keynes, and he always showed such tremendous promise as a young man. It was no surprise when he got that big move as Bindon and Bennett clear it away. But of course, with the struggles he had after leaving Spurs and then opening up and being so brave about the struggles and the childhood trauma he faced as such a young boy, and the mental health issues he was going through as well, I do hope he gets back to a good level. And I don't know if there's a chance that he'll ever get back to the level he was at, which at one point was looking like one of the best. Let's be honest here. At one point, looking like one of the best young players. Probably not just in the Premier League, but in European football in total. But I still think he can get back to a decent enough level, and I'd love to see it as well, to overcome that adversity that he's been going through in the recent seasons. I guess we will see. And let's just say that I think all neutrals are hoping. Oh, what a save, Galaxy. That again, he'll be able to overcome the challenges he's had in recent years. Even so, still 0-0, 17 minutes in. Excellent save. As we're looking for that first goal after none in our last 2. Personally, and I don't know whether he'd see this as beneath him, as our former winger Lenny Lobato plays it inside and Bennett makes a great save, but I'd love to see him go back to MK Dons on loan. I'd love for Everton to loan him to MK Dons for a year, playing lower league football. And, you know, great way to help your old club out. I'm sure a lot of people would want to go back to Stadium MK to watch Dele Alli play again, that's for sure. And try and rebuild some confidence and self-belief in the lower tiers as Bennett makes another good save. But I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. Even so, still 0-0 here. Really going through it though right now. Just cannot seem to get back on that mini winning run we were on. Got to remind myself though, it's only our second season in the Premier League. To be where we are right now is fantastic. We're performing above expectations, even if our form is starting to slow down and stutter a little bit. Fulham winning, mate. Keeps chasing and almost won it off Ben Godfrey. That's that high defensive work rate, man. I tell you, I want it on every player. Every player for me needs to be willing to run and track back. And you'll get rewarded for it. Like I said, you'll get rewarded for it in this team. If you put a shift in, you get rewarded for it. Wilhelma chasing down the loose ball. May not have won it back, but for the effort, it still gets rewarded. Yep, you are rewarded for hard work. And I am a firm believer in this, and I will stand by it. A, there's no substitute to that. And B, you always get rewarded in time. If you've put hard work in consistently, even if you're not getting the results instantly, I truly do believe that eventually you'll get what you deserve if you're willing to put that extra graft in. Reggie makes it 2 with his third goal of the season, and after back-to-back games without a win or goals, we're getting both in this one here. Reading tuning up and returning to winning ways. Success is not always instantaneous. In fact, it very rarely is. But those that will get it are the ones that will continue to search for it and put the effort in towards it. Consistently. Great build-up. Brilliant, brilliant goal this is going to be. Oh, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll tell you, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. It's a shame it's taken me 11 months to do it, but I'm getting better at these team goals, man. Great finish. 3-0. Come on, don't throw it a clean sheet now. Don't throw it a clean sheet. Ali with the ball through. Great save. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Look, we're going to get the win. That's what I wanted. That was the most important thing, but... dear oh dear, you know, sometimes there is just nothing you can do about a goal and you've just got to hold your hands up and say, listen, luck will balance itself out eventually. Ali with the 1-2, the shot by Unal, well saved by Bennett, it deflects straight off the knees of Jonathan Panzo and into the back of the net. Nothing you can do about that, man. Like, literally. Was it the crotch, actually? I think it was the crotch. Even so, one of those things. Chalk up as bad luck, man. Sometimes you get luck in your favour, sometimes it goes against you. One of those things can't be helped. Not going to detract from the performance, though. Excellent win and return to anyways in Berkshire. Right, let's do 2 more. I was even got a nice little mini run to end the episode off following contest away against the champions of the save and the current league leaders away, aiming to win it back-to-back. Heading into this new season. Arsenal in North London with a familiar man up top as well. I think it's the first time I've ever seen it. This should be fun. Come on, you Royals. Oh, he's realised that boyhood dream of his. Everyone's seen the picture, haven't they? With Harry Kane as the young boy wearing the Arsenal top. Yeah, lots of memes about that picture. It's not too uncommon for a player to be photographed in a rival team's kit, though, of course. All the years at Spurs. And yeah, in this save, playing for Arsenal, and again, I think it's the first time I've ever seen it. I might be wrong, but yeah, I don't recall. Oh, Harvey, what a save, Carnacecchi. Seeing this before, Harry Kane leading the line for Arsenal. How about that? Anyway, 8 minutes in. And his return to North London might be in red instead of white, but today we're looking for it to be success in purple as... Oh, Charlie Savage hits the post. Fantastic start. Very unlucky not to be leading. Feel free to disagree with me here, by the way. That's totally fine. But I personally believe there should be some transfers that are basically impossible to be coded into the game for AI clubs. Listen, if it's your career mode and you're managing... you know, a team and you want to bring in someone that seems ridiculously far-fetched, by all means, go ahead. I don't think that should be stopped. I don't think you should be prevented from being able to do that. But I think for AI teams and AI clubs that are managed, I think there are just certain signings they shouldn't be able to make for realism. Like, it would be like Messi going to Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't happen, you know. And again, I know the irony is that we've seen Kane wear an Arsenal shirt as a kid, but it's still just a bit too far-fetched. If you're managing Arsenal and you want to sign Kane, go for it. All power to you, you know. But I don't think the AI club should be able to do that, because to me it just kind of like breaks away from the realism a little bit. And again, I know that's a great little bit of interplay there. Hold on. Oh, Carnacecchi once again. 2 big saves this afternoon. Didn't really get much power beyond that, but even so. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, I just feel as though there are certain transfers. As bizarre as some moves we've seen in recent years, the footballing world has gone a bit crazy with transfers, hasn't it? Let's be totally honest here. Some crazy, unpredictable things have happened in the past, 5 years, let alone 10. I still think there are just a couple. Again, I think just a couple that should be coded in. I mean, imagine Francesco Totti ending his career at Lazio, for example. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Saka on the move, has his pass cut out, and I think it is going to finish 0-0 at the Emirates. So to be fair, a credible draw away against the league leaders and champions. It's not going to be back-to-back wins, or is it? Zeki Amdouni, no, come on, Asechi, another great save. Sometimes I'll say, how on earth did I not win that game when I dominated but couldn't find a way through? But in this game, I know the answer. It was that man, Asechi. A couple of fantastic saves, hit the woodwork in the first half as well. Stood up to the champions brilliantly and deserved to win, but in the end, just couldn't take the chance. Even so, credible point though, credible point. You think about some of our results this season. Away at Anfield, winning, away at the Etihad, drawing, away against Spurs, drawing, and away here at the Emirates, drawing too. We stood up to the big boys really well this season. Yep, our final game today. Let's end on this very inconsistent run for the Royals, but no second chances here. Last 8 even of the Carabao Cup. Furthest we've got in the save thus far, a quarter-final place, but tonight aiming to go one step further and reach the semi-finals for the first time in the save. Aston Villa at the Medeski. Come on, you Royals. A big decision heading into the game as well. Who starts in goal? Well, I've opted to keep faith with Kanaya. Obviously, not quite as good as Bennett as we know, but he made that crucial, well, 2 crucial saves in a penalty shootout win over Luton Town. I don't know, man. I've always had this belief as well, like if you've got a cup goalkeeper, no matter where you get to, no matter who your opposition is, you should keep faith with him. If he's got you there, then you keep him between the sticks. That's always been my belief. I know some managers, they prefer to start a backup goalkeeper in the earlier rounds as McGree goes down, and then go with their better first choice when they get to like a semi or the final, or just face a far stronger opponent. But to me, if you've got a cut goalkeeper and he's got you to where you are, keep faith with him. Chance and a half, come on, don't throw it away here. Conrad Lima, Louis Barry denied. Boyce Clark started him, kept faith with him, makes the save, keeps it at 0-0. And it seems though that would do it for the first half. McGree still carrying that knock as Boyce Clark dives on the loose ball. 45 to go. I think we might be set for our second penalty shootout of the season. Oh, no, 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 no. Nicholas Jackson turns on the afterburners and drills it in. It's not been a great game, and Villa have won it late. 13 on the clock, and our progress ending in the quarterfinals. I'll be honest, I haven't played well. Just quite frankly, haven't had any chances, and Kelvin, oh! Hasn't scored since season 2 and almost got us to level at Emi Martinez, king of the housery, keeps it at 1-0. The only chance we had as Mbenge heads over, and Villa are going to hold on. One win in our last 5 in all competitions, out of the League Cup in the quarterfinals, whilst Reading's great run to start the season off is now looking like a distant memory. It's worth keeping things in perspective. Yes, recently we slowed down, but we're still having a fantastic second year in the top flight. Our best ever finish in a cup so far in the save, and right now still in a European spot with 2 games to go into the halfway point. Don't capitulate, man. We're still doing fine. But that'll do it for today's episode, guys. So big thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. Watch after you all have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next episode with more games in the Premier League as we'll get to the official halfway stage, trying to get back in the top 4, but most crucially stay in a European place of some kind. And we'll have the FA Cup 3rd round plus the January transfer window opening as well. A little bit of money to work with, and we might make 1 or 2 transfers. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Summer Career Mode very soon.